Welcome to Sales Giant Training's presentation of our Master Sales course on Attitude. For more great training, visit us online at www.salesgianttraining.com. We wish you tremendous success with your sales endeavors. Enjoy the course.
In coming back, obviously this morning we spent a lot of time with a discussion of goal setting. And before we get into the next topic, which I mentioned we're not going to learn anything today about the mechanics of selling. We're going to learn a lot today about how to plan your life, how to plan your career, how attitude has an effect on that. And, that's not the first time that I've heard that when we have a discussion on goals. People come up to me and say, and it's always the top people that say, hey, you're taking away my advantage. That was my advantage. Well, it is the case. But the wonderful thing about this is it's not a zero-sum game that we're playing in. Neil, your increase in performance does not mean that somebody else's performance has to decrease. There's really an unlimited amount of this. We all could close at 100% and sell $10,000 to every customer, and that would not affect anybody else. We have the ability to do that. Now, if you're significantly better, you may get a few more opportunities, but that is very slight. Really, your increase in your success does not hinder anybody's success. In fact, I tell you just the opposite. It improves everybody's chances of success because as each one of you get better, the company gets better. With increased profit comes the ability to move a bit more in the marketplace, to advertise, to brand even more. So as you succeed, really you're raising the tide, and that's going to lift all the boats because we're going to have additional opportunities, additional income, means the business can expand and grow, advertise more, and produce more leads for everybody. Does that make sense? It absolutely does feel well. And there's a built-in incentive to do that. And your personal feelings is one thing. But again, when you help somebody succeed, you help the company succeed, which means more opportunities, not only for more appointments, but for more growth and for more advancement for each and every one of you. Plus, you can't discount the fact that it feels really good when you take somebody under your wing and you show them what you know, and all of a sudden you see that start to develop. Jack, are you... That's your guy? Okay. I don't know if you helped him. Well, he's doing pretty well. I don't know if you helped him or now you're just taking credit, but okay. But see, he always tells me that he's the cause of your success. See, but it works most likely it works both ways because as you teach, you learn. And as you sit down with somebody and say, this is what I do, you get a better understanding of why it is that you do what you do and how to perfect yourself. And when you're meeting with somebody, even if they're new, there's always something that you can learn from them. There's that one great phrase that they picked up somewhere else, and they can share that with you. So that collaboration really moves the growth of a salesperson toward that greater professionalism for both parties that are involved, or the group, or however you can figure that. And that's something we're going to come back to at the end as we talk about what happens next, what happens going forward after we leave this, how do we get better. And that pairing up in those groups are a big part of it because you have other people to learn from and to hold yourself accountable with. I want to talk about this afternoon, the second piece to motivating your sales success. We talked about goal setting. We did some exercises. We planned your year. We planned some example months. We gave you all the tools necessary going forward to properly set goals as a sales professional. I want to look at one other item that motivates the success, which is the attitude. We touched on this briefly earlier, and we kind of made the connection between the people that are successful are the people that have the great attitudes, and it's very unlikely that you're going to meet somebody that's highly successful with a horrible attitude. Right? We're going to talk now about the reasons why and how and why you want to control your attitude and how that's going to lead to even more success than just goal setting alone. This is really the engine of your sales career, taking those goals and helping you realize them. We'll start out with a quote from William James. And can someone read that for me? Does everybody agree with that? It's the attitude at the beginning of a difficult undertaking, which more than anything else is going to determine the result of that. You can almost tell when somebody faces a difficult challenge what the outcome of that's going to be, if they're going to succeed or if they're going to fail, based on the attitude with which they approach that obstacle. If they face it with, another thing gone wrong. Oh, woe is me. Everything stinks. It's so hard. The world is conspiring against me. Can you imagine any success coming out of that attitude? Right? On the other side, another challenge, another opportunity for me to get better, to improve myself, to learn something I didn't know before, and overcome something that I'm going to learn from and be better for. What's the likely outcome of that? success. You're absolutely right. So William James said it one way. Here's another gentleman, man from the state of Illinois, Abraham Lincoln. Everybody recognize him without his top hat? He said that I've discovered that a man is just about as happy as he makes up his mind to be. Okay? The key to this is that he makes up his mind to be. That doesn't imply that there's anything external in the formulation of attitude, but it's all internal. A man is just about as happy as he makes up his mind to be. Oftentimes when I get in front of a group, one of the things I always ask is, and you've heard me do it a couple of times, what do I like to ask? How's everybody? Okay. And most of the time when I ask that question, about half the people respond. How's everyone doing today? The reason I start by asking that question is I think to prove a point, is that your attitude is controlled by you, by the decisions you make, by the way you choose to have an attitude that day, whether it be negative or positive. It's completely up to you. Abe, I think, said it very well. I've discovered that a man is just about as happy as he makes up his mind to be. So if you want to be happy, make up your mind to be happy. If you want to be sad, make up your mind to be sad. Or the third option, let your attitude be at the whim of conditions and circumstances and external things. Then you can never predict what it's going to be. Sometimes it's good, but in general, what do we hear more from the world, positive or negative? Right, so if you let the world decide, most likely you're going to be negative. Then you win the lottery and you're happy. But don't wait to win the lottery to be happy. Imagine you're driving down the road. All right? Someone cuts you off. Has that happened? Right? Okay. You get really, really mad. You son of a, you're shaking your fist at somebody, right? Okay. That's a choice you made. It colors your whole day. Now the man that cut you off, he's driving down the street. He doesn't see you shaking your fist at you or giving him the finger or whatever you're doing. He doesn't see any of that. That person doesn't even know it. But you gave control of your attitude and most likely your whole day to that guy that cut you off in traffic. Why do we do that? Your whole day, we allow it to be ruined in many cases by the actions of somebody who doesn't even know they're affecting you, didn't want to affect you, doesn't know you, doesn't hate you. But that's a response. That's a choosing of your attitude. You gave that person control. Again, that's allowing attitude to be controlled by circumstance. So you can choose it, negative or positive, or you can let the world choose it for you, or you can choose it yourself in a positive way. Now, if attitude truly does lead to success, what do we want to choose each day? Positive attitude, right? Someone asks you, how are you doing today? Okay? Before you respond, remember this. 50% of the people you tell your problems to are glad you have them. Right? Absolutely they are. Oh, because his are worse than mine makes me feel good. The other 50% just don't care. Could care less how you're doing today. So what I want you to look at when people ask that question, the reason I ask that question is, okay, I'm in this group. Right? I'm not glad you have them. Right? But when somebody asks you that, and the reason I often introduce a session with that question is because it gives you the opportunity to choose your attitude. Just like old Abe Lincoln said, he's discovered that a man is just about as happy as he makes up his mind to be. So when someone asks you that question, I would suggest a better answer. I'm fantastic. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to choose my attitude in a positive way. Imagine the shock you'll receive when you answer it that way. Okay? But I want you to turn to the person that you're seated next to. And I want one of you to say, how you doing today? Now understand, your problems, he's either glad you have them or he doesn't care. And this is how I want you to respond. Isn't that better? Isn't that better than when somebody says to you, how's it going? It's going. Okay. Could be worse. Okay? That's what you normally, I hear it around the office, I hear it everywhere. How you doing today? All right. Sure. Oh, here, let me tell you my problems. Like they really care. Come on, right? Use it as an opportunity to choose. You don't have to use the whole thing, but I'm fantastic works pretty well. Look at the people in the eye when you say that to. How are you doing today? I'm fantastic. Like, what's wrong with you? Really? What's wrong with you? Are you high? No. I've been drinking either. I've just chosen that since I have to live today, there's two ways I can go through it. With a negative attitude or a positive attitude, you got to pick one. Which one do you want to go through the day with? Right? You got to be something. Why not be positive? It's much, much, much better way to go through a day. Why is it so important? Yes, Neil. Sure. Absolutely. You got to say something, right? Yeah. Well, why is that unrealistic? Give me an enthusiasm. Who else uses it? How many people use that? I use it all the time. What? Yeah, okay. You're one. Well, now you all know. Now when somebody's, how you doing? Incredible. Unbelievable. Outstanding. I'm fantastic. Tremendous. Okay? Use it for what it is. Nothing more than an opportunity to choose your attitude rather than let it be chosen for you. Why is it so important? One, your attitude is the filter. Everything that goes through your mind filters through your attitude. Right? There are people that if they won the lottery, you ask them how they're doing today. Not so great, man. I got a lot of